Hi there, my name is Alwyn Johnson, Pantry ID 6179555. I am currently doing a computer engineering major. For my presentation, it is network scanning. This is only for educational purposes only for this. So, for the definition of network scanning, it is the process of finding active hosts, ports, and services utilized by the target's application, which is known as network scanning. So, for the introduction, the purpose of finding active hosts, ports, and service used by target application is known as network scanning. If you're an ethical hacker looking for system vulnerabilities, you'll need a weak point in the system to try to attack. The objective of network scanning is to identify the victim's IP address, open ports, and active hosts or computers, to find out which services are active on the host machine, to ascertain the target's operating system and systems architect, to identify live host vulnerabilities and to fix them. The abstract: if you are an ethical hacker looking for system vulnerabilities, you need a weak point in the system to try to attack. The cybersecurity industry makes heavy use of scanning technology. In the course of their job, security engineers, hackers, and researchers frequently employ different forms of scanning. In the process of network scanning, an attacker uses tools and tactics to learn as much as possible about the target. The cybersecurity industry makes heavy use of scanning technology. Significant techniques. The TCP three-way handshake is not completed by SYN scan or stealth. When a hacker sends a victim's an SYN packet, the connection is completed and the port is open for listening if the victim responds with an SYN or ACK frame. It is presumed that the port is closed or not enabled if an RST is obtained from the target. Because certain IDS systems log this as an attack or connections attempt, SYN stealth scanning is useful. So, significant technique. A packet with URG urgent, FIN finish, and PSH push flags is sent by XMAS scan. If the port is open, won't be a response. However, if the port is closed, the target will answer with an RSTA or AACK packet. Similar to an XMAS scan, a fin scan transmits a packet containing only the finish flag and no URG or PSH flags. The same restriction and reaction are received by FIN scans as by XMAS scans. Identifying the port scan, an IP header, sequence number, an idle scan sends the SYN's packet into the target using a faked or hoax IP. The port's openness or closure is determined by based on the scan's outcome. The attacker sends TCP probing packets with or without a TCP flag, fin or fish, in an inverse TCP flag scan. RST implies that the port is closed, whereas no response indicates that it is open. ACK flag probe scan. In this technique, the attacker sends TCP probe packets to a remote device with an ACK flag set and it examines the header data, TTL, and window field. The RST packet indicates whether the port is open or closed. The filtering system of the target or victim is also tested using the scan. So the countermeasures. The first countermeasures show that to configure the IDS and firewall to block probes. The second countermeasures is to keep firewall routers IDS firms update. And the third, run port scanners to verify the target of the security of the target. 4. Add rules in the firewall restricting access to ports. 5. Disable ICPM based scanning at firewall. These are the countermeasures for against network scanning. Demonstration. Network scanning Nmap is an open source and free using the target IP address. You may use Nmap to scan the network and also use the host name nmapexample.com. A web server scanner named Nikto checks for the malicious files and out-of-date service software. Additionally, it is possible to hijack the network using these facts. The goal of Nikto is to scan the web server as quickly as possible. A network scanning tool called SolarWinds IP Address Manager uses IP addresses to control devices. Businesses may use this application to actively scan and find IPv4 and IPv6 addresses across subnets instead of cumbersome IP monitoring spreadsheets. Scan networks and ports. The following tools can be used. Using Nmap may gather details on the network active host, services, different kinds of packet filters, firewalls, operating systems, and OS versions. The Angry IP scanner looks for systems within a specified input range. TCP/IP protocol employed the command line packet crafting and network scanning programs H HPing2, HPing3. Superscan is a TCP port scanner that may use for pinging and is a potent tool created by McAfee. Another extremely potent GUI tool for detecting the kind of OS version, ping sweep, and port scanning is ZenMap. A variety of tools, including those can be execute port scans, floods, web rippers, and bulk emailers, are included in the NetScan tool suite pack. There are commercial editions for this utility in addition to trial versions. Two potent and well-known programs that listen to network traffic and function as network analyzers are Wireshark and OmnetPeak. Passive scanning. Network scanning is sometimes referred to as packet sniffing, also known as passive scanning, which records and keeps track of data packets used in network traffic. For you to quickly transform packet data into understandable and permanent information, you must install a tool and put sensors on controlled devices and apps if you want to track packet level traffic on your network. Vulnerability scanning. A technique called vulnerability scanning is used to identify and recognize weaknesses in computer systems that are accessible through a network. It helps to identify particular vulnerabilities in an operating system, OS, or application software that might be exploited to compromise or crash the system. Port scanning. Finding open ports on a network that could be receiving or transferring data is a process called port scanning. In order to find vulnerabilities, it is also entails sending packets into particular ports on a host and examining the answers. Without without initially compiling a list of active hosts and assigning each host a unique address, the security scanning is not possible. A network scan in the first step of the process, which is known as host discovery. Benefits: you spend less money and time, boost efficiency of your network, and resolutely combat cyber attacks. OpTools. OpUtools is a switchboard and IP address management tool that aids engineers in effectively diagnosing, resolving, and keeping track of IT resources to find, use, and free IP addresses. It scans IPv6 and IPv4 subnets. Additionally, OpUtilities analyzes the switches in your network, assigns devices to switch ports, and displays information such as users, locations, etc. This serves as a deterrent to device intrusions and aids in identifying them. You may either manually or automatically set up your idle machines on your network by laying tools. With the aid of SMP tools, you may query SMP or simple network management protocol devices and examine snapshot of management information bases to create a graphical representation of SNMP IP nodes. PRTG Networks Monitor. Check IP addresses, many lane or WLAN devices, and keep an eye on your network. You'll be alerted to any network outage so you can keep take rapid action. You can simply keep an eye on your network traffic in addition to network devices. View the total number of devices in your network using this IP scanner. To reduce the likelihood of an online attack, this tool is useful for scanning open ports. IP Address Manager. SolarWinds offer a comprehensive IP manager with tons of function. It is simple to manage DHCP and DNS and IP with SolarWinds software. Among these characteristics, IP information and history monitoring, automatically track IP addresses scheduled to a scan to ensure current information, manage IPv4 and IPv6 addresses, be informed about IP conflicts and inconsistent DNS records. From a single platform, keep an eye on multi-vendor devices including Cisco, Microsoft ISC, and DHCP servers, Bind, and Microsoft DNS servers. Automating VM IP control with vRealize orchestrators plugin. Find and follow the corresponding blocks and subnets. IP address lookup. Delegate IP management. The Angry IP Scanner is open source software that works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. It has an ability to scan ports in addition to IP. The scan results can be saved in a variety of formats. Free IP Scanner. Hundreds of PCs may be scanned in a single second with a portable standalone IP scanner. The host, name, workgroup, and other NetBIOS information can all be displayed by this tool. You have the choice to export the outcome to a file. IP Scanner by Spice Networks. Windows OS X and Linux users can use the Spice Network Scan IP Scanner. This would be helpful if you need rapidly determine all network connected devices for inventory. Network Scanner. The network scanner from Lizard System enables you to examine your private or business network. We can scan thousands of network connected devices per minute thanks to its multi-threaded scanning techniques. Advanced IP Scanner. One well-known scanner that has been downloaded more than 300 million times allows you to quickly analyze your lane. A portable executable called Advanced IP Scanner can be used for a variety of tasks, including MAC address detection, remote control via RDP, and accessing network shares. IP Range Scanner. Your network may be scanned by a free program from Lanesweeper, which can provide details on network-connected devices on your network. Some key features are execute custom commands, discover subverts, import network IP using CSV files, detect internal and external IP addresses. Nmap. Nmap is typically used to identify network security threats, but can also be used to determine how IP addresses are being used in a network. Intruder. A network vulnerability scanner, which is not the same as IP scanner. Over 1,500 businesses worldwide rely on the Pwn tool. Intruder Network Vulnerability Scanner. Although it can detect more than 10,000 vulnerabilities, its major USP in that it also aids in lowering your external attack surface. To conclude, in this project, network scanning provides the importance of looking for weak points in the quick process of looking for potential vulnerabilities in each active device on your computer system. Network scanning is the process for locating active hosts, ports, and services used by the target application. You'll need a weak place in the system to try to attack it if you are an ethical hacker hunting for system flaws. Scanning technology is widely used in cybersecurity sector. Security engineers, hackers, and researchers routinely use various types of scanning in the course of their work. An attacker utilizes tools and strategies to conduct network scanning in order to gather as much information as possible about the target. Network scanning, sometimes referred to as passive scanning or packet sniffing, is the process of recording and keeping track of data packets utilizing in network communication. If you want to track the packet level traffic on your network, and you must install a tool and place sensors on control devices and applications so that you may rapidly translate packet data into intelligible and useful information.